Hi, and welcome to my video that I did about some landscape lighting on my house. I was browsing YouTube for some examples of what to do and suggestions how to do stuff, and I saw some very terrible uh, videos on how to do wiring, and I was amazed that these so-called pro installers were producing videos showing the installation methods that they were using, and I decided to show what I did on my house. This is just a small portion of what I did. I did a previous day's worth of work um, installing the walkway lights and light on the front of the house. But here's the video on the other side. So in the front of our house, I wanted to put a spotlight here that's going to shine up at the flag. And I was going to put a flood that's going to shine back towards the porch of the house, like Christmas colors. And I was going to put another flood over in the corner shine up at these trees. So I'm going to run two strands over to here and then tie into one of the strands to go into here, because this is the spotlight's going to be one zone, and then these two lights are going to be a second zone that are shared. So I'm going to measure the distance back to the house, and so I laid out the strand wires, 100-foot wire length, but I'm going to go in the garage and connect one end to one light, one to the other, and then put them in the hole, and then backfill my way back. But I want to know which wire is shared with this zone over here, so I'm just going to measure the distance real quick so I can make a mark on my wire. So like right here, that's going to be roughly where that other wire is, so I know when I get back to the house, to the corner of the house, I know which wire is which. So I've got my double strand of wire, and it's not cut at the other end yet, it's still joined together, but I wanted to, this way I maximize the amount of wire that I'm pulling on the ground. I don't want to cut it ahead of time. So this is going to be my spotlight, and this is my floodlight. I marked the floodlight with a piece of yellow tape, and I marked the wire with a piece of tape, so I know which light goes where when I'm putting it in the ground. So I'm going to measure, like I said earlier, I need 24 feet. So I'm going to measure 24 feet of this wire from the light back to the other end of the wire. And that will tell me which wire I'm going to be tapping into for my other light that's part of this zone. And so I'm also shrink wrapping a nice butt connector. Make sure it's nice and neat. Then you put your shrink wrap down over it. And then I'm putting an additional piece of shrink wrap over the top. It's a really nice sealed connection. And this is pretty inexpensive stuff. It's Harbor Freight marine shrink wrap, and it's adhesive lined, so it has like a goo in it to really seal it up nice and firm. And then the second piece of shrink wrap joins the wires back together so they're not split. Just makes it nice and tidy, and it pulls good. So I've got the lights in front of my flagpole, and this one floodlights facing the porch. I like to bury the cords just a tiny bit so that they fully under the ground, so nothing's gonna chew on them or nothing. And they're all just buried to 6 inches deep. I got my trough down through here, and then this bundle of wire is gonna go back towards the house and into the wiring. You can see this is the light that has the floodlight on it, so that's what I'm going to tap into now, and dig another trench to come over here and just kind of flood that light. But I can continue pulling this wire through and over into the house, or to the house. And it's just gonna nail it up under the porch here. Yeah. Your sock is dirty.
Yeah, from Dad.
And so I just got this pull cord that I can pull the cord up through. And then once I know how much I need here, then I'll just cut the excess and use that for the run to go over to the other floodlight. So I've got the wire running through a piece of conduit from the ground. I mean, most of the wire is all direct bury, but any wire that's exposed on the side of the wall, I want it to be protected against, critters or weed whackers or whatever. And then I just clamped it onto the bottom of my deck. And then I found out to which wire is my yellow wire connected. That was on the other side. So now and I teed into that. I got two coming in.
I don't be home.
She'll be home soon. And then I have these connected here. I just cut it and spliced into it. So this is a lead that's going over to the other floodlight. So now I'm gonna shrink wrap these and seal it up. So I've got the cords are coming up through, and I have this thing. It's just a piece of pipe just stuck in the hole, just right diameter to stay in there. And that coupler just kind of keeps it from falling down. We get one of those vinyl tri-siding blocks. And then, so this is the lines going out. The switch, I made a switch panel on the 3D printer. And this is going to be where the transformer's coming in through the other line. And then I'm going to probably control it off of smart switch. So I can, not sure if I'll bypass the daylight on and off and timer on the system. But I have it run off an M12 battery because the transformer still hasn't gotten here yet. This top one is feeding my spotlight for the American flag. The second one is turning on the lights for the walkway. Third one turns on both the floodlights. And then the last and fourth switch turns on a light out front for a wreath. And the fifth one is just an extra one at the moment. I'll show you out front what they look like. So I've got the 3 lights on the walkway. It's gonna be nice because those are always really dark on the front. This is where the wreath hangs in the Christmas time, so it's kind of nice to have that permanent. Now, when the season's done, I don't have to be out here dealing with taking stuff down. I just turn the switch off. Once it gets dark out, I'll better aim some of these lights. But you can kind of see that the floodlight is hitting the front of the house a little bit. This one is hitting the flag, but we'll wait till it looks like after dark and I can change a little bit more. And then this one over here is floodlighting this set of trees, on my neighbor's trees actually. You can see the conduit and all the lines are buried. I got the seed down so it's ready to go for the heavy rains tonight, so it'll hopefully get seeded before spring. And I was thinking I may put one up top to kind of shining from the ceiling of the porch, aiming down to kind of illuminate the snow out here to kind of give it some color. So it's for Christmas time, I guess. Just have some things. And I've got some stained glass inside the garage. So I'm going to make these round disc out of some stained glass, and these are going to be made into a frame. Just going to go in front of the light, and just going to be super simple. Just kind of set them right in there. Just going to cut a glass cutter, stained glass. I already marked out the diameter of the circle with the marker. Pardon the noise of my son in the background. And I got these pliers. They got a little bend on them so they break the edges. And you can put these right on there. Takes the edges right off. Super easy. Yeah, might be too much. I'm just gonna give an edge to break on here. And you put it over here. You get these little nippers here. You can kind of just break off little chunks to get them tightened up. Almost, I just need to trim it down a little bit more. So I got this trimmed out pretty good, easy. And then I took it over to the belt file, and that just kind of cleaned up the edges a little bit. And that just sits perfectly right in there now. And then probably put a little piece of something on it so it comes out easy. But super easy, and because all these lights are facing upwards, they just kind of set in place. So now it's dark out, you can see the 3 walkway lights, the light for the wreath, and that's obviously going to be a seasonal light. We got the flag illuminated, and then we've got this light here, which is going to be shining on the porch. And I got these little gels, or little lenses. I was going to drop a red one in there. And so now I've got a red ambiance into the front of the house. And then this one, which is shining up onto this tree, I'm going to put a green one in. And so it's just going to add a little green color. And then I'll come out later when it's a little darker. And thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more videos of varying different types of projects. This video was done to show how I did the landscape lighting install. My methods may vary from other people's, but I felt that they were much better than some of these so-called professionals that I saw online that were showing some very bad representations of how to do wiring. And I plan to follow this video up once I get the transformer installed and start getting some more functionality. I also plan to add some more additional lights behind the house to illuminate from behind, and those lights would also add ambiance when we're spending time in the backyard. And thank you. We'll see you again next time.